It is not always easy to visit those living with HIV. The roads are often impassable, especially during the rainy season. Several PLWHA groups have formed in different villages. Many people here are HIV positive and often have spouses who do not want to get tested. Until a few years ago, the superstition that HIV positive people were bewitched and thus dangerous for society was widespread here. Condoms often are unavailable and not always popular. You don't suck on candy with the wrapping on either, it is sometimes argued. That is why PLWHA members try to speak openly about the disease and educate the population about the treatment possibilities so that more people get tested. The ignorance in some parts of the population about HIV and AIDS is disturbing to some extent. But helpers from the West also have inaccurate beliefs. For decades, development aid has flown into Tanzania. Schools, orphanages, agricultural and medical projects can reportedly only survive with help from donations, but development aid can also do harm. Governments of developing countries rely on funds from abroad, and those often fall victim to corruption.
The treatment offered here has worsened because there is no skilled staff left. The personnel that is present is uninterested. I even heard that the staff said, if they die, we don't care. Because there are no longer any laboratory tests available, death rate has risen here again.
And the church is partly to blame.
The bishop, of course, as head of the diocese, you could say he's responsible for whatever goes on under him. We have found no proof of him being directly involved. The audits that have been done have shown nothing to the fact that he was involved in either stealing the money or having any direct involvement in the disappearance of that amount of money. But as head of the diocese, I think you could say he's responsible. He can be taken, he can be held responsible for what happened.
The church simply reassigned the inculpated bishop. An inquiry has been ongoing for 4 years. Isaac Sanger was present during the 2006 protests when the former bishop abruptly had the hospital shut down. Since then, PLWHA members especially have had to suffer. They are seen as troublemakers who have brought shame to the Lutheran Church in Tanzania. Indeed, the story was not only picked up by the national newspapers, but also made headlines abroad. Isaac lost his wife 9 years ago and his sister 4 years ago, both to AIDS. He now lives with his 2 children at his mother's home. The family members eat what the land yields. They are small farmers, like many of the district's 150,000 inhabitants. If they are lucky, they can sell vegetables on the market, but most of the time they need the crops for themselves. Isaac is one of the initial PLWHA members.
the situation to that hospital, or to, I think I can say, for that people who is working there, or for that doctor is there, is not treat we us well. He don't know how to treat we us. Because we are positive. Sometimes they say, oh, this one is positive, I think he can die. That's all. We are thinking that, because he don't take care we us.
The only meal for the family are the freshly harvested sweet potatoes. The 10-year-old daughter came home during the school recess because she's hungry. The elementary school is free, but Isaac has to come up with money for the school uniform, books and clothes, and that is often hard, because the 54-year-old also has to pay for some medication on his own.
This Babaskov is mean the bishop. He eat money, because this money our donors he bring, because here in the hospital to buy some medicine and some what and what, because to treat we us. Then who he can go to treat we us, because this money he get this bishop. We want this bishop he can bring back this money.
Wherever the Austrian doctor appears, he is happily greeted by people. He lived here for 3 years and shopped in this market. Today he accompanies the Burmese doctor and infectious disease specialist Sin Sin, who campaigns for HIV-positive people and especially PLWHA members. The PLWHA office is a place of refuge for those living with HIV. Here they receive support and some of the medical help they used to get at the evangelical hospital. The Tanzanian government does not allow Dr. Sin, an HIV/AIDS specialist, to dispense AIDS medication. For that, she would need an extra license, which only the evangelical hospital has in the region. But she can distribute medication for other infections that occur with AIDS. Donations from Europe help fund small first aid stations. This woman has only been taking medication for a short time. She does not tolerate the drugs well.
In the hospital they give the AIDS medication for free, but the other medicine you need you have to buy. I don't have any money. That's why I'm here.